They didn't walk away from the dollar. They canceled its license. Not symbolically. Not gradually. Legally, by decree, on April 12, 2025. That's the day Venezuela published Decree No. 1187 in its official gazette. And Article 3 didn't say, gold is now accepted. It said, asterisk, all fiscal obligations shall be calculated and settled in grams of fine gold. That sentence didn't add gold. It deleted the dollar, as the mandatory unit for sovereign fiscal execution. Let that sink in. The unit of account, the legal unit that makes every tax bill enforceable, every civil service salary lawful, every public contract binding, is not abstract. It's statutory. It's the foundation of state accounting. And before April 2025, Venezuela's law named only one asterisk unit for that role, the US dollar. After the decree, that status vanished, not eroded by inflation, not displaced by market preference, revoked by legislative override. This wasn't monetary policy. It was legal surgery. Bloomberg reported it plainly. Just 1 week before the decree, Venezuela's central bank board was purged after directors resisted reclassifying uncertified gold as official reserve assets. Their objection? It violated international standards. The government's response? It rewrote the standard. Because unit of account sovereignty doesn't require gold bars in a vault. It requires the authority to define the unit and enforce it across every ledger, every invoice, every payroll system. So when the tax authority issued its first gram-weighted VAT assessment in May, when the Ministry of Finance disbursed teacher salaries in grams, not in dollars, it wasn't experimentation. It was enforcement. That sounds like accounting minutiae, until you realize every civil servant's salary, every VAT invoice, every budget line item now fails legal muster if priced in dollars. The dollar didn't lose value here. It lost jurisdiction. Its license didn't expire. It was terminated with prejudice. And for the first time in modern monetary history, a sovereign state didn't just challenge the dollar's dominance. It erased its statutory authority, on paper, in law, and in practice. They didn't just change the currency. They changed the unit, and every line of code in the state's financial stack had to be rewritten. That's not metaphor. It's literal. By May 2025, just 4 weeks after Decree No. 1187, Venezuela's tax authority began issuing VAT assessments with a single, non-negotiable line item. Asterisk. Liability. 12.7 GO. Asterisk. Not USD 4,280. Not Bolivar's equivalent. Grams of fine gold. Full stop. And businesses had no legal path to object. Because under the new law, a dollar-denominated invoice wasn't just outdated, it was unenforceable. Void. Without standing in court. Same for payroll. In June 2025, the Ministry of Education disbursed teacher salaries, not in dollars, not in bolivars, but in gram-weighted amounts. One primary school principal in Caracas received a deposit labeled asterisk 0.72 GO civil service compensation, Q2 2025, asterisk. Her bank converted it automatically, using the state's daily gold reference rate, into bolivars for her account. But the asterisk contractual obligation was defined, calculated, and settled in grams. This wasn't theory. It was ledger-level enforcement. Treasury. Disbursements shifted overnight. Vendor payments for road repairs, hospital supplies, even electricity subsidies, all flowed through gram-weighted ledgers. No dollar exchange rate entered the calculation. No parallel market quote was accepted. Only the state's official gram valuation, anchored to its own premium-backed domestic gold purchases, was valid. And here's what most miss. The mandate didn't depend on gold shipments or vault audits. It depended on asterisk one thing asterisk, forcing every taxpayer to calculate their liability in grams, not dollars, and submit payment in gram equivalents. That's how a unit of account becomes real. Not by proclamation, by compulsion at the point of transaction. Before, a bakery's VAT bill read, USD 1,200. After, 1.3 GO. Same economic weight? Maybe. Same legal force? Absolutely. Because the gram was now the unit that made the debt binding, the audit defensible, the budget line item auditable. This wasn't accounting reform. It was infrastructure replacement. Gram OS, version 1.0, was live. And it ran on 3 pillars. First, tax codes rewritten to require gram denomination for all assessments. Second, civil service payrolls recalibrated to gram-weighted base salaries, retroactive to April 1st. Third, Treasury settlement protocols updated so no disbursement cleared unless its ledger entry specified grams, not dollars, not bolivars, not crypto. That's the statutory to ledger pipeline. Short, brutal, unavoidable, which means the dollar didn't fade out. It was excluded from every invoice, every payslip, every budget line. Its last legal foothold in Venezuela wasn't lost in a currency crisis. It was deleted from the source code. And that brings us to the critical question Chapter 3 answers. If the gram is now the unit, what keeps it from collapsing under its own weight? The answer isn't in the vault. It's in the premium. We've seen how the gram entered ledgers. Now, how did it stay credible? Because a unit of account isn't stable just because it's written into law. It's stable only when people believe it will buy the same thing tomorrow. And in Venezuela, where the bolivar lost 99.9% of its value in 5 years, that belief couldn't come from trust. It had to be engineered. So the government paid a 15% premium for domestic gold, not to hoard metal, but to lock in the gram's local purchasing power. Reuters confirmed it in June 2025. Caracas-based bullion dealers were instructed to settle all state purchases at 15.2% above the LBMA spot price. Not as a temporary incentive, as a standing valuation rule. That premium wasn't generosity, it was grammar. It meant every gram Venezuela accepted was worth 15% more than the global market said it was. So when a teacher received 0.72 GO in her salary, that gram converted into bolivars at a rate that reflected domestic demand, not London arbitrage. That's how the gram stopped floating. It was anchored, not to a vault, but to a price floor the state enforced daily. And that's where Bloomberg's April 2025 reporting becomes decisive. When central bank directors resisted including uncertified gold in reserves, they weren't debating purity, they were defending an international standard called good delivery, strict weight, assay, and branding rules. The government overruled them, not to cut corners, but to assert sovereignty over the asterisk definition of the gram itself. Because if Venezuela accepts gold that doesn't meet London standards, then Venezuela defines what a gram is. Legally, metallurgically, operationally, that sounds like a technicality, until you realize Venezuela just declared, a gram is whatever we say it is. And they proved it. By Q2 2025, gram-based salary conversions and tax settlements weren't theoretical. They were audited, verified, live. Caracas dealers confirmed the premium was non-negotiable. Treasury disclosures showed gram-weighted disbursements clearing at the state's official rate, no deviation, no exceptions. That premium wasn't a cost. It was collateral, posted against the gram's legal authority. It transformed the gram from a symbol into a asterisk stabilized unit, one that could survive hyperinflation, sanctions, and parallel markets, because its value wasn't outsourced to New York or London. It was built in Caracas, enforced in Caracas, validated in Caracas, which means the gram mandate isn't a Venezuelan anomaly. It's a template, and every sanctioned treasury already has the tools to run it. Argentina doesn't need gold bars to copy Venezuela. It needs one thing: a signed decree. Lebanon doesn't need vaults. It needs one thing: a revised treasury directive. Sri Lanka doesn't need diplomatic clearance. It needs one thing: a line inserted into its budget law. Because the gram mandate isn't a Venezuelan survival tactic. It's a asterisk legal template: zero reserve, zero diplomacy, zero delay. And the research dossier says it plainly. Asterisk, unit of account sovereignty requires no gold stockpile, only the legal authority to redefine the unit. That's not theory. It's operational fact. Venezuela proved it without shipping a single bar overseas. They paid their 15% gold premium in bolivars. They updated their ledgers in Caracas. They enforced gram-denominated taxes without touching a dollar reserve. So what stops Argentina? Nothing except hesitation. Its central bank already processes 92% of national revenue through digital tax systems. Its finance ministry updated its fiscal accounting directive in December 2025. Annex C now includes gram-weighted liability templates, pre-loaded and ready. Its IMF repayment deadline? March 12, 2026. $4.01 billion due in dollars it cannot access. But a gram mandate wouldn't require dollars. It would require only one thing. Decree 2026-01 signed, gazetted, and enforced before the payment window opens. Lebanon? Its treasury hasn't missed a civil service salary, but it's burning through reserves at 68% faster than projected. World Bank data shows payroll shortfalls accelerating through Q2 2026. No gold? Doesn't matter. Its Ministry of Finance still controls every public payroll ledger. All it needs is a clause. Asterisk, salaries shall be calculated and settled in grams of fine gold, effective April 1, 2026. No vault audit. No foreign approval. Just statutory force applied where it matters most, the payslip. Sri Lanka? Its 2026 bond maturities spiked 300% per Fred data. But Article 47(b) of its Budget Act already permits alternative valuation units for fiscal obligations. It doesn't need new law. It needs one executive order redefining unit to mean gram. That sounds like legal gymnastics until you realize. Dollarization requires banks to hold USD. Reserve diversification requires access to London or Zurich. But unit of account override? It runs on asterisk statute alone. It lives in tax codes. It executes in payroll systems. It enforces itself the moment the first gram-denominated invoice clears. And that's why this spreads not in years but in asterisk weeks. Not through treaties but through gazettes. Not with gold shipments but with signatures. Venezuela didn't invent scarcity. It invented sovereign leverage. It showed every sanctioned state the same truth. When your dollar access is cut, your accounting authority isn't. It's the last lever you still control. So the question isn't if Argentina, Lebanon, or Sri Lanka copies this. It's asterisk when they stop pretending the dollar still works on their books and start enforcing the gram.